Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and today is a Saturday, and I am doing just one job today, just a commercial job. I'll show you what I'm doing, and we'll get back to the subject at hand, which you might have already guessed is about. This will be about. I'll be doing this common area, the reception area. I'll be doing this rug here. And then back here, this area. It's not a very big job. I think, what do I charge in? $270 or something, I think. And the 3 treatment rooms, you can see where they had the plastic mats, and this one is the worst one. And it should clean up just fine. But this video will be about my new purchase, and if you've been following my channel, you'll notice that I've gone through a lot of vacuums, and I just keep buying them, and partly because I'm just curious to see how different vacuums perform and things like that. And I buy this vacuum. I buy this with tip money. Actually, I get a lot of tips. In June, I got about more than $700 in tips, and so I decided to just turn it back into the business and buy things that I have been curious about and I like to learn. And anyway, as you can see, this is the Sebo. This is the X8, which is the top of the line Sebo machine. It has a very interesting feature where the brush roll, the head of the machine will actually automatically adjust to suit each carpet type. It measures the resistance on the brush roll as it turns on, and then it'll actually go up or down depending on what it's sensing, and it'll always keep the brush roll at the optimum level in relation to the carpet pile for maximum performance. So so that's a neat feature. There is a manual version of this as well available, but I thought I'll get the automatic one. I might as well just go right into it. It cost me $700, which is a discounted price in Canada. I think they normally retail for about $750, but I get a discount at the place I buy it from, the vacuum store I've been dealing with for many years. So it's an interesting vacuum. The reason I've decided to get this, I've always hesitated because I thought I don't want to spend that kind of money. But the reality is that decent vacuums generally do actually cost a fair amount of money. And it's not just simply about how it performs, but about the quality, how long they last. And apparently the plastic is the same grade or type of plastic they use for football helmets, so I guess that makes it pretty strong. And there's one guy that, one video on YouTube where a guy actually puts one down on the floor and actually stands on it, and just to show the quality of it, and it definitely is good quality. Things like this metal tube is really strong, partly because of the shape, but it just all kinds of things about it really do give you the impression that it's good quality. But I'll just go over a couple of things about it. It has a 40-foot cord, which is a good length, and it's a kind of more of a rubberized cord, apparently making it more pliable, less likely to tangle and kink and crack over time. So 40 foot is a good length. It comes with a upholstery brush, which is right there, and the crevice tool, which I clipped on here because this is the tool that I would use the most. I did a big job yesterday, and I used it a few times, and I unclipped it from there. I'll do a comparison with this and the Pro Team and the the Hush Tone side by side. I'll do another video about that, but right now I'll just focus on this, showing the pros and cons of those 3 different vacuums. That ought to be an interesting video for those of you who are looking at your options for vacuums. And I don't sell vacuums, so I'm not promoting one over the other because I'm going to gain anything from it. Rather that my point is to just let you know what I observe and what I think about these things as a carpet cleaner. If we're using these all day long every day, we do want to know how well they will not just perform, but how easy they are to use on a daily basis for hours at a time. I mean, I literally run my vacuums hours every day. You know, every job I do, I pre-vacuum, and in almost every case, I post-vacuum as well. So typically, if it's a decent-sized house, that's 2 hours of vacuuming, you know, hour and a half anyway. So let's just talk about a few things about it. To lower the vacuum, there's this lever right here. You just push it down, and it drops down. That's pretty straightforward, obviously. It rolls very easily on the carpet. I've done a few carpets now. I've only had it for a few days. And I did a great big job yesterday, and it was more of a frisee type carpet, and it really moved very easily on the carpet. And the other day I did, I think, 2 other small jobs. Again, it worked very well. It moves nicely, which is an important thing to bear in mind. Some vacuums are a little more difficult to move and maneuver on the carpet for various reasons, but anyway, let's see. This is kind of nice. When you go to pull the tool out, it just sort of, this hose slides back up the tube, and it's ready to go immediately, which is works better than the hush tone in that. And when I do the comparison, I'll show you what I mean. And then it goes back in place, and the hose slides back down. And I think that the way that that's working like that, that means it'll have less stress on the hose. And comparing that with the Pro-Team, which has a hose that's permanently, it doesn't retract like that. I've replaced hoses on my Pro-Teams quite a few times over the years. The Pro-Team was my main vacuum for probably maybe 4 or 5 years, I guess. The other thing is that the brush roll, you push this button and this cap comes off and the brush roll slides out very easily. And on the other side, there's actually a smaller chunk of brush roll that pops out the other side. So that's cool. Easy to get at that. The body, if you get a clog in the elbow at the bottom here, you push this button and this thing just pops right off. The bag, as you can see, is right there. The way this, and there's a HEPA filter. This thing apparently has like the best filtration going, better than Micron filtration. And the other thing to notice is that the vacuum motor is actually in here. It's not in the actual body here, so it gives it a very low center of gravity. And that's the overall view of it, I guess. I don't think... this can disconnect as well. You can undo that lever there, and then this handle pops off if you ever need to replace it. So it's kind of a user-friendly kind of a vacuum. I'll show you what the bottom looks like. As you can see, looking good. I got a little bit of some yarn, or no, that's hair there. That was from the job I did yesterday. And there's a little clean out port right there for the intake. And this is the wheel that actually goes up and down to adjust it. And it has rubber rollers here, so it rolls nice and smoothly on hardwood floor or whatever. And it has a little sweeper there, so that you can actually, it will do hard surface vacuuming as well very well. also very well, because it has this little sweeper here. So let's take it for a ride. Oh, one more thing. It's got a very nice light. The light is really good. The light gives you the ability to see in dark corners, of course. And I was doing a job the other day, and I had to vacuum underneath an office desk. And as I put the vacuum under the desk, I realized that I wouldn't have been able to see what was in the back under the desk. But with the light there, I was able to see very well. So the light is definitely a good feature. So let's turn it on and we'll go for a little ride. Oh, when I turn it on, you'll notice that it takes a second or two before it actually spins up, because it has what's called a soft start feature. The idea being that the voltage is delivered incrementally to the motor until it raises it up to full voltage, so that it's not such an electrical surge that goes through the motor immediately, giving it the ability to, the idea being that it will last longer. And it also, the belt in these machines is expected to last for the lifetime of the motor, so no belts. So let's turn it on and see what happens. See, it took a sec to start up, eh? So as I move, you see the light that's green there? And now it just lowered down. I'll do that again. I'll put it to the upright position here. It'll retract. So when I turn it on, you watch that light there. See that turned off as it drops into place, into the right position for this particular carpet. Oh, there it is. It's just, I can feel the difference too as it lowers itself down onto the carpet. It's not a really loud vacuum. Rolls very easily. I already vacuumed over there, so we won't be showing that, in case you're wondering. This is an olefin carpet. And overall, it's actually in pretty darn good shape, actually. The airflow rating on this particular vacuum is, according to Sebo, is about 120 CFM. Their model below this is, I think, 108, but 120 is considerably more than most vacuums, and very few vacuums are able to accomplish more than, usually they're around 80, 90 CFM. So this is a considerably higher rating than an average vacuum, including commercial vacuums. So that's something to bear in mind. As I do post-vacuum carpets, and they are slightly damp, my main concern was whether or not that would be an issue with this particular vacuum. If it would, kind of clog it up with any dampness. Although, when I do it done right, when I post-vacuum, there is no, there's usually none or very little discernible moisture even on the brush roll. So it's all about having the right balance of moisture in the carpet and not over wetting the carpet. And there's a shower feed, and I've talked about this in recent videos. It's one of the ways to measure whether or not you are using the correct amount of moisture as you're shower feeding is if you do, say, a living room, dining room, a hall, by the time you go back to the beginning where you first cleaned and you start your post vacuuming, after you post vacuum the carpet, ideally you should have virtually no moisture present on the brush roll. And that's one of the ways you can measure if you've got the right balance of moisture. You only need to clean the carpet with enough moisture to get it clean, not over wet it. And if there's cases where you are finding that if it does require a little more extra cleaning and more moisture, then running an extra dry pad, at least over that area, to leave it as dry as you possibly can, is the way to do it. So that's a way to measure that you've got the right balance of the moisture. So bear that in mind for those of you who are, just particularly those of you who are just beginning to get into using the shower feed. That is a way of measuring it. Once you get the hang of it, you'll never go back, I guarantee you. It's just so easy and simple and reliable and effective. And there's a little thing. Oh, I got it. Seems to vacuum the edges very well, actually. And I'll show you what else it does really well in a sec. It's got a very slim body. The thickness of the right here, I'll show you. So it does go down very low, as you can see. I see some junk in behind there, so I'll just pull that out of there. Oh, looking good back there. Okay. Now watch what happens when I pop it in place. Yep, it retracted. That's pretty cool. Now again, when I lower it down, keep your eye on the power head there on the light. See, it turns green while it's adjusting, back it down again. Takes a second or two, and then it's back down now. So it retracts, or goes back to when you go upright, it actually lifts the head off the carpet, which is what you want, because you don't want the brush roll to be rubbing on the carpet or spinning on the carpet. So it retracts up to the at rest position, and the brush roll is not contacting the carpet. You don't want that. You can see quite a color difference between where the mat was and where the wear and tear is happening on this carpet. Again, underneath. I can see something. Oh, got it. Nope, there it is. A little piece of paper or something. Okay. Okay, it's going back up right now. The head is, that is. Head's going down. Notice that the other, it was, see when it's going down, that light goes on. When it goes up, the other light goes on. See, it's down and up. Can you read that? See, down and up. There was something right on the edge there. Just pulled it right out of there. One of the reasons I decided to get the Sebo is every time I've read on various sites where carpet cleaners are talking about the vacuum that they think is the better one, the Sebo keeps coming up. Whoop. I'll have to deal with that in a sec. As a really highly rated vacuum by a lot of different carpet cleaners. So that's why I decided, well, I'll spend the money. As I said, I got the money from the tips anyway, so. And I might as well just turn that tip money, which was given by my customers, back into something that I can use to benefit my customers, so. Okay, I'm done the vacuuming, so I will get set up with the rotary and we'll get this job taken care of. Okay, I'll let you go. Hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully I'll do a comparison with the 3 different very similar vacuums that I have, and we'll talk about the differences and the pros and cons of each one then. Okay, I'll let you go. Bye now.